Hi everybody, and welcome to Walker's Guide, and welcome to day 4 of 30 Days of Wild. And today is a bit of an odd one because it's a wild animal in a non-wild setting. I'll show you in a second. Today we're going to be talking about these. The beautiful, the majestic, the red deer. The red deer is the largest of the native deers found in the UK. They are approximately 1.2 metres tall at shoulder for the males. In the UK we have 2 native species of deer. Just 2. The red and the roe. We also have a number of non-natives that are quite common, namely the fallow, which is the most common non-native deer, the muntjac, sika deer, and also Chinese water deer. Sika deer are very similar in size to red deer, and in fact in some situations can crossbreed with them. The fallow deer was brought over by the Normans as a food source and for the fun of hunting. The Chinese water deer, sika deer, and the muntjac were brought over by humans, again for, well, actually showing off. They're brought over in the Victorian periods for the fun of showing off and going, look, I've got this lovely big area with these weird deer. That's rich people for you, right? Red deer males are stags, and there's a stag there laying down. Hopefully we can see him if I zoom in a little bit. They have antlers, as most deer species do, not all, on the males, which are used for territorial disputes and for breeding rights. A female red deer is called a hind. In other deer species, the fallow, the male is a buck and the female is a doe. Now, red deer, like most deer, form families, groups. All the females go together and the males will be pushed away and only allowed back during breeding period. This time of year, the deer's antlers, so we're in June, obviously 30 Days of Wild in June, the deer's antlers are in what we call velvet, so they are covered in a fur that they'll slowly knock off as they grow. In April they'll lose them and then they'll start regrowing them. It seems like a lot of work to regrow a lump of bone out your head every year. In their breeding period, which is later in the year, the male red deer will bellow, and it's quite an interesting, quite loud sound. So something to remember is deer are prey species. That means they are hunted by other animals. So they've developed a different way of having their heads. So we as humans, we are a predator. So our eyes are on the front and we focus out there. Deer species there and prey species, mainly herbivores, their eyes are on the side of their head and they're focusing all the way around here. And they are looking, eating, looking, eating, looking, eating, and they're looking to see what's happening and how it changes. They can't focus like we can on one particular movement and go follow it. They work differently. Very clever. Now this enclosure is in Bedford Country Park, and there are quite a few red deer here. One mature adult male and a couple of young ones, or at least one young one that I can see at the moment. But that's today. So red deer, our biggest native deer. So with the deer enclosed behind me, I'm going to say that's all for today. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 5 of 30 Days of Wild. See you later. Bye.